Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Daytona International Raceway for tonight's coverage of the Victory Fuel Cup Series at Full Throttle Sim Racing, presented by Full Throttle Television. We're here at Daytona Beach, kicking off the C season. Beside me, Tony Solari in the booth, as always. And Tony, we've got a super speedway to kick off the C season and 2 races away from the playoffs. A lot on the line at this track, and you know anything can happen here at Daytona.
Well, what a better way to start a season, even the C season with Daytona. I mean, it's almost like the first of the year, to be quite honest with you. I mean, and yeah, what could be said about Daytona? I mean, everything. It's, just a great fun plate track, and yes, anything can possibly happen, and I'm sure we're going to see just about anything and everything tonight.
Yeah, not much has changed as far as season to season, but one thing has changed. The main sponsor of the series is now Victory Fuel. We talk about Victory Fuel a good bit in the race, and now they have come on board to sponsor the Cup Series for this season and many seasons to come, we hope. So looking forward to having them on board. I got to thank Victory Fuel. Again, remember, use code FTSR at drinkvictory.com. Let's pull up the little logo here, drinkvictory.com. Go use code FTSR for 10% off your order. And we were talking to Victory Fuel sponsored driver before the race here, Richie Coy. He's got a new paint scheme as well, but he got some of that new grape, Richie, or Tony. He got some of that purple potion. He said he really likes it.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. He really enjoyed it. He said it's probably the most potent of all the flavors, and he said it almost tastes like one of them little grape freezy pops or whatever. So I'm actually looking forward to trying it. Grape's a favorite flavor of mine. So yeah, it should be pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. Mine too. And I'm looking forward to trying it as well. As they wrap up practice here, just remember FTSR 10% off at Victory Fuel or drinkvictory.com. So we're wrapping up practice here, getting ready for qualifying here at Daytona Beach. We're going to look at our race analysis, or actually look at our track map here and kind of talk about Daytona. 2.5 miles super speedway. They got 80 laps tonight. 20 laps is your stage. And, yeah, it's going to be some interesting super speedway racing. A lot of pushing and shoving. You may not see it at the beginning, but it's going to ramp up towards the end, and I'm sure some of these guys are looking to get their first win of the season here and lock themselves into the playoffs.
Well, yeah, Daytona is a great place. I mean, a lot of the plate tracks are a great place for some of the newcomers or just some new fresh blood to get up in the front. It's kind of one of those tracks where you really got to, Tony Stewart famously said that, it's a game of chess, but he was only good enough to play checkers. But you really you gotta be able to kind of play chess, and you got to be there at the end. And it's really, if you can make it to the very last corner, the very last lap, and still have a car under you, you have a chance. And it's just it's one of those tracks where that's usually where we're going to see some excitement towards the end of the race. But you got to make it through the whole thing to be there at the end.
You got to be in it to win it. And you're absolutely right. That's one thing I always preach. You got to be in it to win it. You still have to have a complete car at the end of the race to win one of these races. You got to take care of your stuff and put yourself in position for the end. That's where it matters. Now, what matters to some people, though, will be the stage. Again, stage break at lap 20. We do pay out points for that, so that's going to be interesting. We're going to see a ramp up to lap 20. And then we're going to have the green flag pit stop in the last segment, which is always kind of interesting as well. So, yeah, there's a lot going on, a lot of things to think about. And honestly, as a driver, you can't win this race on your own. Like, you can put yourself in position, but you're going to at some point need some help or need a push from somebody. How do you work that in the race and in the community, trying to find people you work well with and then having them actually help you and know that you're working to a greater goal at the end of the race?
Well, first of all, you have a lot of teams out there, and obviously the teams are going to work together. But what happens if your team is destroyed, or maybe you have a very small team and one of your members is at the very far back, but you're up in front? Well, that's where you kind of, the friendship comes into hand, and a lot of these guys have a lot of experience running against each other. They know what type of drivers they are, and you kind of find unlikely alliances, maybe towards the end, because, they also have something to gain, and they might be in the same position as you are. So you might find these team ups later on throughout the run, and it's always kind of fun to see how it plays out. And I've seen teams win completely, take the top 3 spots, and then I've seen, the one guy left from a team take that finish as well. So it's really kind of wild on how it's going to play out. But you really don't know as a driver too, but what you're going to get into as you're going into it. So you just I always kind of just go with the flow and see where it takes you.
Yeah, there's so many different strategies you can take. Some people like riding around the back, waiting to the end. Some of them like actually trying to stay up the front the whole time. Where you don't want to be, and we'll talk about it more tonight, I'm sure, is you don't want to be in the hornet's nest or in the middle. What do they call it? The center of the storm.
The sucker hole.
Yeah, well, in the middle lane, but the middle of the pack either. Like you don't want to be back there because we've seen in a truck race, anything can happen. Speaking of the truck race, what an amazing finish we had on Wednesday night. .001 between Richie Coy and Bobby Terrell. And we could see that again here tonight.
Oh, yeah. And I think we've been seeing a lot of close finishes, especially on these plate tracks. I believe we had another one fairly close at Talladega. And, it's the nature of this beast. And, I remember, too, in the truck race, both second row cars both collide into each other, last corner, last lap. Richie and Bobby basically drag racing to the finish line. And it was just, it was a great race. And, just neither one had help. And it just, whoever had that little bit more steam than the other got the victory. And again, we could see that tonight. And it's kind of what makes plate racing so exciting. And, and then there's the people that get wrecked, last corner.
Well, I was going to say, it's exciting. And I'm sure the winner's happy and everything. But everybody that wrecked on the last lap is like, oh, I hate this. It's funny how, depending on how your race went, is how you feel about this racing. It is exciting. It can be fun. It can also be extremely frustrating, as we saw in the Gen 4 race as well. You get stuck side by side and you can't go anywhere. So, it could go either way, honestly. And we look forward to a good race, though, either way. We'll have fun. That's one thing with Tony, me, and you up here. We don't have to worry about who's mad at us or who's happy or how we feel. We get to watch it.
Right. Yeah. No worrying about, did I just cut him off? And, sorry about that. Didn't mean to put you 3 wide or didn't mean to go around you and leave you hanging there. And yeah, it's a stress-free thing. We just get to watch and enjoy. I mean, we've kind of had our fill of it over the week as it is. And, now we just get to sit back and watch these guys do it. And it's going to be interesting for sure. Well, they always are.
It should be fun. Should be a lot of fun. We got Dole in the comments already. Happy to have Dole and everybody else is watching with us on YouTube. Glad to have you on board. We're looking forward to a great race. Hope you guys have fun. We'll keep it as entertaining as we can. These guys know how to take care of cars, though, so I don't know that we'll see much carnage early on. We'll be bringing you all the action, though, and we'll go ahead and get started with our starting lineup.
All right. Well, I got it up. So row 1, we've got our pole sitter, Ben Tracy. On his outside row, we got Sherwood Wolford. Then the second row, we have Ryan Hedrick and TJ Bartel. Third row, Kyle Milliken and Brandon Elder. Fourth row, Daniel Simmons, Wayne Grassi. Fifth row, starting ninth, Colton Gum and Lane Allen on his outside in 10th.
And we got Joseph Johnson starting in 11th and the number 57. On his outside, it's going to be the 12 of Nick Doohan. Let's see if I can get this. There we go. Starting 13th is going to be the 48 of Jamie Knopf. To his outside is going to be the 9 of Colby Meese. Starting 15th is going to be the 65 of Stephen Hassett. To his outside is going to be the 19 of Richie Coy. Starting 17th is going to be Shane Parrish in the number 66. To his outside is going to be the 01 of Nathan Biggert. Jeff Chandler in the 31 starts 19th. There's 3 teammates all together there. And 20th is going to be the 67 of James Wallace. 21st is going to be Brian Dublé, and to his outside is going to be the 6 of James Torrey. And rounding out the field, 23rd is going to be Michael Blackner, 24th Alan Crowell, and that'll be your 24 starters for tonight's race here at Daytona.
I can already see those teammates. They're already kind of bunching up together. We haven't even started this race.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was talking about. You got Shane Parrish, Nathan Biggert, Jeff Chandler, the new team on the block. And I've got to get their team name right.
Beast Mode Performance.
Yeah, there you go. BMP, Beast Mode Performance. All starting right there, but all towards the back. The same with Richie Coy, who's won in the last 2, the last 3 races in FTSR. He won last week in the Cup Series. He was our last winner, and looking to cap off season with another one.
Yeah, Richie had a pretty good week last week. Got the W2. I mean, we can't discount. He won here at Daytona in the trucks. So, and then kind of followed it up the next day with the next gen. So can he do a complete sweep for the weekend? I don't know he's got one friend out there, Michael Blackner. So we'll see if the two of them might have something in the bank.
You got some pseudo teammates up front with Wayne Grassi, TJ Bartell, and Sherwood Williford all lined up second, fourth, and fifth up front. So a great run for those guys as well. Whatever they have is really working out. Ben Tracy up front. His teammates starting 8th is Daniel Simmons and Jamie Knopf in 14th. And then you got Ryan Hedrick up there. Good qualifying run for him as well in 3rd. So kind of mixed all the way through the field. We'll see if they can find each other tonight. Tony, who are you looking at tonight? Who you got?
Oh, I don't know. It's really anybody's story. I mean, honestly, I'd like to kind of see like a Sherwood or a TJ or a Lane or a Brandon, maybe a Wayne even. I mean, there's so many. It's hard to pick one, to be quite honest with you.
You can't ever look Kyle Milliken, who won Talladega not long ago, so he's good at these super speedways for sure. Started up pole and dominated that race, so he's one to watch as well. A lot of guys to watch. Lane Allen can surprise. Nick Dugan up there. We're going to see it all, though, as the pace car pulls off. We're getting ready for the green flag here at Daytona. The Daytona 200, the FTSR Victory Fuel Cup Series, waiting for the green flag. Green flag is out, and we are underway here at Daytona.
Yeah, and another thing we have open restart zones now. As far as when we do get our first caution, they're going to be able to restart when the leader will be able to restart when they want to, and that's going to be interesting.
And Tracy leads the inside lane out by 2 car lengths, and now the battle's for 3rd, side by side. First 2 cars are clear as they head down the back.
Yeah, and everybody's just kind of finding their place right now in the back. As I'm looking through, we're trying to get the 2 lanes formed up. It looks like a few guys maybe just had a little slow restart, but everybody's single filing or double filing and trying to get caught up with the main pack. That's the one big problem if you're ever in the back of the pack. You do not want to lose the draft from the beginning of the pack. Sometimes, some bobble up in, the 4th, 5th row can really separate a pack from another pack. And then, that's when you start seeing these different groups arise. But so far, it looks like everybody's together.
Ben Tracy all clear out front. The battle's from 2nd on back. You got Kyle Milliken and Ryan Hedrick side by side for P2. On the outside pushing them is the 3 of Sherwood Williford. 5 of Sherwood Williford. And on the inside, the 06 of Daniel Simmons.
I'm kind of watching Ben out in front, and he's kind of up the lane, down the lane, and that's,
Here comes Kyle.
Kyle's kind of taking that line on the inside now. I don't like seeing a lot of guys move around too much this early in the race. It's just, we got plenty to go, guys.
Yep. And Kyle Milliken's said, I will take this lap. I'll take the lead and lead this lap at Daytona, lap 3.
And he's got a good pusher behind him, Ryan Hedrick. I believe we saw him not too long ago at Michigan. He just kind of hung on and just kind of stayed in line and just kind of helped the guy in front.
That's a good point. I forgot about Michigan. Yeah, he was really good at Michigan, and he kind of stayed up there and was really a story here. As you see him 3 wide, now they sorted it back down to 2 wide down there towards the back. Who's that? Richie Coy, all the way up to 6th spot, leading the outside lane now.
Well, I was just saying about, how I don't like seeing guys move, and Richie kind of made that move up above Ben Tracy. So, yeah, we'll see if he can pull this upper lane train going.
Here they come through the travel to complete lap 4. Sorry, lap 3. They start lap 4.
Now I'm looking at Colby Meese. Colby Meese is leaving a big door open. Maybe he's giving a little room for Richie there, or it looks like he's starting to shut the door slightly now. But
I can tell you what the drivers have told me is when this car gets side by side, it really slows the 2 cars down. And I think that's what you saw when they get side by side. They're actually losing ground to the cars in front that are a single file.
Well, that could be too. And I know too, it does help when you got a guy on your bumper. It's like if you're in a 2-car pack, that 3rd person on your butt. Sort of say, sorry to make it like that, but when you get that 3rd guy behind you, it just seems like that the train starts moving a little better.
Very close to the travel. The 19 Coy right on the door of Colton Gum, kind of pulled Gum, I think, up off the off the bottom of the track.
Yeah, it looks like Richie's trying to get that side draft working and just trying to get that outside line to catch back up. I mean, if you look, too, we had Sherwood Williford, who was on the outside pole. He's sitting right now in 9th place. So, I mean, this is one of those types of tracks where, you know, your position is only good for, you know, maybe a lap or two if you're lucky. And, you know, we'll probably see him up in front again in another, you know, 5-10 laps.
Right there, we saw, it's a great camera angle going into turn 3, the checkup that happens into turn 3. We saw the 9 checkup, the 57 almost get back in the 9, and that accordion's all the way back to the field. Usually when something like that happens, the wreck will not happen with the car that actually checks up. It happens like 3 or 4 cars back that usually pays the price for something like that.
It's no different than traffic on your highway, you know, to be honest, because it's you know, it's just you're doing 200 miles an hour. It's the only major difference.
Well, that outside lane really rocketed to the front. Now Richie Coy's going to take the lead down the backstretch. He clears the 42 of Kyle Milliken. Now a push from the 35 of Ben Tracy.
And Richie comes down and takes the lead over from Kyle. It looked like Kyle and Ryan and even the 06 of Daniel Simmons, they were kind of getting, and I don't know if maybe Kyle got a little loose and kind of slowed, you know, checked up that whole field, but they were very tight, you know, nose to bumper. So yeah, that in itself is not going to be good for the game.
Kyle said, no, thank you. I want this lead. He pulls out, goes by Richie on the front stretch and back in front. And so Kyle retakes the position here.
Yeah, Kyle made that look effortless. I mean, that was just, you know, yep, thank you very much. I'm taking this right back.
Now the 35 of Tracy getting a push from the 3 of Williford, who's back up front now. He's going to push Tracy clear.
I know. We were just talking about Sherwood showing in 9th right now, and here he is fighting for 2nd.
Oh, I think Sherwood thought he was going to take the bottom there, and he did not. It's going to check the front line up completely.
Looks like Richie's going to try and he wants that first spot back.
Yeah, so Richie goes to the outside. 47's going to go with him. And now the 35 on the back of the 47 is going to give them a great push going into turn 1. And 19 back up front.
How long will Richie stay up there?
Oh, check up. There's
right,
a checkup going into 1 there. Richie's going to clear. The 47 is going to come with him. The 35 trying, not quite clear, waiting for a little bit of help from the 3 of Williford. He's got it, but the 42's got draft as well, and they closed that gap up.
Yeah, it looks like the inside line's kind of suffering from a little bit of a curse. When the guy gets out in front, you get some guys that are just a little bit too close to each other, and it seems like it slows down that lead car.
Well, you know, that's one thing. A lot of the guys have said that the outside lane is the fast lane here for the Cup car at Daytona, so they're making use of that very, very well here, as the 35 is going to try to take that lead from the 19 of Coy. And they are clear going into turn 1. And now Sherwood thinks he's going to go low. He doesn't, and that checks him up once again. I think when anybody gets to that right rear quarter panel, it kind of slows the car down, slows that whole line down, really.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking a little further back in the field. I mean, we got, you know, the teammates of Nate Biggert. We got Shane Parrish, right? Shane. And then Jeff Chandler. They're just kind of hanging out back there with Alan Crowell, and it looks like it's James Wallace James Torrey. And they're just kind of in the back. They haven't lost draft. They're just kind of waiting for the big one, so to speak. I mean, and there is quite a bit of action up front. So, I mean, it's probably not a bad move to just kind of chill back there and ride around.
Look at this, Donnie. Who's that? The 35 in the wall going into turn 1. He hangs onto it, though. Nice job to hang onto it, but he lost track of the 42. I was going to say the top 3 kind of gapped the field, but now they're right back up there. Now Colby Meese is going to look to the outside and try to lead that outside lane.
Well, he's got Wayne behind him, too. So Wayne's, from what I remembered, a decent pusher. And let's see, maybe they can get that line going. I know Kyle's kind of, he wants a place to go, because I think Kyle's got a rocket under him, and he can just get his foot back up there.
Tony, I am surprised how, I won't say aggressive, but how active the race has been so far. Lap 11, and they've been 11. Shuffling around a lot.
Well, we got 3 wide in the back. We got TJ Lane and the 48 of Jamie Knopp. And it looks like the 12's jumping into this mix now, too. Yeah, they're fighting for every little position right now. Guys, it's only lap 12.
I mean, we are coming to a stage at lap 20, I guess, but yeah, they're very active. I won't say I hate it, man. This is exciting.
It's fun to watch, and I mean, anybody out there watching at home, it's got to be fun. I know we had a really, really hot day today, so you know, Mom and Dad said, "Screw this." They go, "It's too hot in Chicago. We're going to Las Vegas." So I know viewership's down in that department. But, it's just, yeah, this is a great race.
This is pretty good, man. This is exciting. These guys are going at it. Everybody wants to lead. I can't blame them. But top four single file. Fifth on back is still up for grabs, but now the fifth place has been claimed by the 57 of Joshua Johnson. Now side by side, Stephen Hassett and Colby Meese down the backstretch.
Well, I'm looking at Joshua Johnson because he does have his teammate up there, and I mean, Brian Dublé is a little bit further, he's spots behind Josh Johnson, and then actually you got James Wallace back there. So I mean, I'd like to see the Boomerang guys kind of team up here, maybe even after the stage, and you know, kind of work together. They are currently, you know, somewhat together now, and it's really, you know, the action's going to happen after these green flag stops, and as spicy as these guys are, they are pretty good, and it's probably going to stay green for most of them.
Wayne Grossi pushing that 9 car, trying to get something going on the outside. They are packed back up to fourth, and now trying to get to the outside of third place down the backstretch.
Yeah, I don't think Colby's does not exactly have the side draft working out right for him. I mean, because Wayne is just, he's all over his bumper. And it's just Colby needs to kind of figure out that side draft and try to see if he can get that lane to work. They've got the numbers. They got the speed with Kyle Milliken and Ben Tracy even behind her. And you know, maybe Kyle Milliken really needs to get up a little bit tighter to Wayne. But yeah, that outside line should be moving a little bit quicker.
Daniel Simmons in third. They've got beside him now, beside the 47 of Hedrick, and we're on board with the 7 of Wayne Grossi. He's doing a great job pushing him. He's getting him up there, and now they're up beside the 19 of Coy. This is the battle for the lead now.
Yeah, as I was just talking about, maybe you heard me, because yeah, he was able to pull it. And now is Colby going to cut down in front of Richie, which I almost assume he is, and there it goes.
Yep, there he is.
Kind of choked up that field, though. It might have been a little premature, but that's all right.
And look at the 19 of Coy push him off into the corner.
Yeah, I don't know if that was more of a push or what the hell are you doing, kid?
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter either way. The 9 of Colby Meese go take the lead. Well, he's not going to lead this lap. The 7 of Wayne Grossi's going to take it.
Well, unfortunately, Richie pushed him out too far, and then it kind of stalled him a little bit, and he was kind of back in the same spot. And there goes Kyle Milliken to the point.
Kyle to the bottom. Dives under the 7, takes the position. Now he's in front of the 9 of Colby. Everybody diving to the bottom. And this is when, Tony, you're on the bottom lane, you're leading the bottom lane, then the top lane gets some gap. One car pulls in front of you, then another car pulls in front of it, then another car pulls in front. Next thing you know, you're running 10th.
Yep. And it's just kind of how the shuffle works. That's why, you know, for me, I've always figured out just stay where you're at, go with the flow, see what happens. You know, I mean, stage points are nice, but, you know, it's also nice to finish.
Coming up on a lap car right here. This is lap 16, racing the lap 20 for stage, but the lap car always kind of presents a little bit of an interesting situation. Everybody does a good job. Everybody gives room. I believe it's Michael Blackner. It is Michael Blackner.
Yeah, I'm curious to know what actually happened to Michael Blackner. Yeah, I don't know if he missed the race or missed a start or maybe lost draft.
I don't know. I can tell you Brandon Elder is also off the track for whatever reason. He wasn't able to continue. But this race up here, hot and heavy between the the 42 of Kyle Milliken and the 7 of Wayne Grossi, and they got Ben Tracy and Colby Meese behind them. Look at that push from Ben.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. I'm actually kind of going back right now. I'm trying to see what had happened with Michael Blackner. It looks like he was definitely running dead last, and maybe he lost the draft.
Well, he is the only car lap down right now, so if he can hang out, he'll get his lap back and he'll be in good shape. But he's got to miss.
He's definitely in good position now.
Miss whatever happens. If something happens here, though, I wouldn't be too close. Oh, the 35 gets pushed, decides to go down in front of the 7. Boy, they are squirrely down the backstretch. They get it straightened out, going into turn 3, 17 of 80. Again, we're racing lap 20 for the stage caution.
Yeah, everybody's got to be on their toes right now, especially if you're in this mid-pack. You just got to watch for that checkup. I mean, you know it's going to happen. You got a lot of guys that are, just kind of fighting for these positions. And, it's pretty tight. But I'm looking at the 01. Where did he come from? He's sitting in 5th, 6th spot right now, and he might be taking over the lead here by the time stage happens. Do we have a caution?
It says stage yellow. Interesting.
It was a debris caution, iRacing call. But it turns out it will be our stage. Well, it doesn't change too much, though, on fuel strategy, because right now in fuel strategy, these cars are getting about 35, 40 laps, or per tank. So it is going to kind of give them a 10-lap window for most of these guys if he stays green, which I assume it is. Again, the drivers are very good. These usually aren't major wreck fests like you would normally see. So they should be coming in after this somewhere around the 50 to 60 lap mark. And well, yeah, we'll see what happens. The green flags are always kind of fun to see how some of the strategies play out with some of these teams.
Well, you like that, I know, because that's kind of your forte on the team when we're running on the super speedways. You're usually planning out when we're going to pit, stage, when the best time to pit everything is.
There is some method to that madness, and it's worked many times. At least but again, and we've talked about this a couple weeks ago too. You got to make sure your team pits all in the same spot. You got to no mistakes by anybody. You got to be on the same tire strategy, the same amount of fuel. The key is getting in and getting out as efficiently as possible, and doing it not just individually, but doing it as the team to make it work. And to me, and I know some of the guys on the team, I think we enjoy that quite a bit. And that's especially too when we nail it, it just makes us feel a whole lot better. And it's a good team effort. And honestly, to me, it's one of the most fun and exciting parts about plate racing. I've won here a few times, and so if you get wrecked out early or whatever, I've been on all spectrums of these plate tracks, so it's it doesn't bother me one way or another. But I think the team effort, if you can get them done in a team too, that's just what makes these tracks a little bit more special.
Nathan Biggart's going to lead them out at 17 positions gained there.
I saw him. He didn't take any tires. He just kind of went in, went out, and picked up the lead. I mean, he was, I believe, 5th when he came in. So, and not a huge stretch, but starting in the back of the field, that's a hell of a job.
He went the right direction. The Sherwood Williford the 5 went the wrong direction. He went it from 1st to 5th. So, I believe he won the stage. So that's a good stage win for him.
Yes, very much so. And it really doesn't matter where you start in these places. I mean, we've seen people up and down the ladder as far as positions go, and it's an ever-changing cycle. And again, it's just making the right moves, praying that you're in the right spot, staying out of trouble, and just being there at the end. And like I say, if you can get the team working during the green flag stop, it's like cherry on the cake.
Jeff Chandler had a really long stop. I wonder if something happened to him at some point in this race, because he looks like he stayed in there maybe to fix some damage. I haven't seen anything come across, but looks like that may have been the case.
Well, and this is, stages are the best times to actually get stuff like that done. And, if you're running in the back, maybe you want to sit back there too, because you want to stay in the back again. That could be part of his strategy. You got to be careful though, because unfortunately Michael Blackner kind of bit him, even though he should be getting the lucky dog this time around. You lose that draft if you're too far back, you're going to eventually go a lap down.
You're right. Michael Blackner will be our lucky dog tonight. First recipient of the lucky dog here at the stage caution. Get him back on the lead lap, and he'll be back in the race here. We see Nathan Biggart, Shane Parrish, Joshua Johnson, Brian Dublé, James Torrey, and Jeff Chandler all sitting there. I guess they come back down pit road to top off on fuel.
Well, I was saying earlier, they got about 35, 40 laps. And I mean, I'm sure that varies, depending on where you are on the field. Obviously, the front cars, although we've seen such a shakeup in the front, I can't imagine anybody's burning off way more fuel than the other. Yeah, it's kind of odd. But these guys know
I
what's
think
up and
everybody
doing
can
their
make
thing.
it on one stop here, but now I guess that insurance fuel you're taking can open that window a little bit wider, where you can decide when to stop. Um,
Well, I almost wonder, too, if you put more in it now, if you can, you're going to burn off, even if no matter where you come in a little later on, you're going to end up having to put less in on the second turnaround.
Well, I mean, it's margin. It's very little, like one extra lap of fuel. And I guess if you're riding around the back and saving fuel, it opens the windows a little bit more. But
Right, it is minuscule.
yeah, I don't know that it would matter all that much. I mean, it's more important to get down pit road, in pit road, off pit roads, strong, than it would be that little bit of extra fuel in the pits, I would think.
Yep. Yeah, and again, like I said earlier, doing it as the team, or because most of these guys, most of the teams should, in theory, pit together. And then you'll see one team call out, "Hey, we're pitting," and then you might have a few other stragglers kind of come in with them, or you might have multiple teams coming in. But usually, once that seal is broken, that's when all the other teams start popping in.
We are going green. Pace lights are off. We are side by side. You got Wayne Grossi on the inside, Ben Tracy on the outside, leading him to the green flag. Remember, we go in the restart zone. They'll decide when to go. There goes Wayne. He launches, and we're green here at Daytona.
Yeah, it was a great launch by Wayne. There's a little bit of controversy with starting in the box, but seems like it's got through so far. Sometimes there's penalties to be had, and some of it can be a little sketchy and a little dangerous for some of the guys.
So the 12 and the 35 getting really close to each other into turn one. Kind of check both of those guys up. They're going to have a run down the back, though, here.
Yeah, Ben didn't get a great restart whatsoever, but now he's got a little help from Sherwood, and Sherwood knows how to push. And we're going to see Ben probably passing Wayne here in a little while.
Into turn three. Side by side for third. First and second clear of traffic. That's Wayne Grossi, Jamie Knopf leading the front. Jamie's a name we haven't said much so far. He jumps to the front here and is going to be a challenger now.
Yeah, he kind of snuck up in here. The one guy we saw that pull out of pit road early, he's not up in front anymore.
Yeah,
so,
and he's one of the guys that came in and topped off, which is really interesting after taking their tires to get the lead.
Well, and I think some of these guys did it, though, so they can kind of sit in the back and just kind of, play it out, maybe avoid the big one. So, from what I've seen, though, the big one can happen anywhere. It can happen in the front of the pack, it can happen in the back of the pack. And, we'll, it's really a roll of the dice when it comes to that. Wherever you're at on the track, anything can really happen.
I love this camera view looking at those down the back stretch. You can see the checkups, see the pushes, see them getting to the back bumper, and just a slight nudge to kind of keep them fast down the straightaway. And as we say that, Jamie Knopf? Yeah, Jamie Knopf takes the lead on the outside lane with a push from Ben Tracy. Teammates.
Yeah, Ben's been up in front for a lot of the race, and I don't think he's led a lap yet, though, too. And I'm just kind of waiting for him to,
he's been the pusher,
right? He's always been pushing, and it's like at some point he's going to dip down and say, you know what, I want our team to kind of control both lanes here, and he's got the space for it now, and there it looks like it's go.
Listen, it don't matter. I leading one lap, leading 80 laps. As long as I lead the last lap, that's all that matters.
Well, sometimes too, though, for some of these guys, and I know you've been on it, it's just nice to at least lead one. And if you get to lead the last one too, that's even better. But at least you want to get it out of the way.
I was screaming because I started on the pole in the Gen 4 race and didn't lead a lap to halfway.
And
so I know exactly how that feels.
And that's plate racing for you in a nutshell. I mean, you never know what could happen. Bad restart, you don't get pushed. It could be anything. This is what kind of makes these exciting. A lot of guys say that they're a little boring or they just become wreckfests, and they are potentially very dangerous in real life. But we saw some good wrecks over the weekend. But there is a bit of art and there is a lot of fun with these.
Somebody said they saw 33 on the. Oh yeah. Ben Tracy is in the 33. Ben's in the 33. Dole keeping us straight here. So Ben's in the 33. Sherwood Williford in the 5. And it's a couple number changes for the season we've got to get used to. I keep calling him the 36 probably. It's the 33 of Ben Tracy and the 48 of Jamie Knopf.
Well, when I raced with Sherwood years ago, he was always the 5. So that to me finally starts to look natural again. So
yeah, now you got used to it again though.
Right, yeah.
His teammates are front. 1, 2, and now 3. Daniel Simmons looking to get the 3rd spot on the high side. Those 3. Oh, we see the 47 wash way up off the corner. He gathers it up and we keep going.
And that's something we don't really talk about too. You know, the visibility, you know, like you're looking at Ben Tracy in the 33 right now. And I mean, he probably can't see anything right now. He's just looking at tail panel and spoiler. And, you know, you kind of get a little lost out there when you're driving because, you know, you're so close and you almost kind of get tunnel blind in a way. And sometimes the car escapes from you and, you know, you kind of get that Ryan Hendrick kind of jumps out of the lane a little bit because it a little catches you off guard or you kind of miss your place on the track. And that is one of the hardest parts of the racing. Your concentration, making sure where you're at on the track when you're where you're supposed to be. And, yeah, but, you know, everybody's doing a great job out here.
Yeah, so far so good. No accidents so far, thank goodness. We haven't seen the big one. And unlike Talladega, because we had a wreck early at Talladega, remember, and it took out a lot of cars and it kind of calmed the racing down. But unlike Talladega, this has been hot and heavy at the front, and man, I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, and the fact that everybody's been, I mean, we are 2 lanes wide, I mean, back, 10 rows. I mean, it looks like the entire pack is in the main pack right now, which is pretty impressive. So... yeah, it just, you know, once that 3rd lane starts opening up, then things are going to spike. It's still too early. I mean, this is the middle of the race. Everybody just wants to kind of get to that, you know, that green flag stop. And, you know, really that's where you're going to see what you have. You know, make sure you get through that stop cleanly, no penalties, get through with the team. Hopefully you can make up, you know, or at least be in the lead pack at that point. And that's, you know, that's kind of where it's about at this point of the race. At least for me, when I'm at this point in the stage of the race, that's the only thing I'm worried about. When are we green flag stopping and just kind of chill until
there are there's plenty of space out there for 2 lanes for sure. There's space for 3 lanes, but the issue is like we saw with the 47 when he had his little issue off turn 4 and he washed up the track. If there were 3 wide, it was over. That was a wreck.
Oh, we got a little bit of a bump up there too on the lead. I don't know what happened, but somebody checked up slightly.
Oh, we got a car around. It's the 66 of Parrish. Rex in turn 3. Who is that? Jeff Chandler with him? No. Who is that wrecked with him? It was the 31 of Chandler. Teammates. 66 of Parrish and the 31 of Chandler, but it was a checkup that caused that accident. As Chandler comes to a stop on the inside, Shane's going to keep going. Huge wreck into turn 1, but only a 2-car accident. Or into turn 3, I mean.
Well, that was that checkup that I was talking about as I saw it happen. And, yeah, I wasn't looking towards the back end of the field because, and like we were just talking about earlier, you know, that early kind of snake worm checkup happens. And then by the time, you know, it goes through 5 or 10 rows, those guys are the ones that are going to pay for it.
See if we can get a good shot of this and see what happened here. Going into turn 3, just a checkup. 31 checks up, 66 checks up, 57 into the back of the 31, which moves him into the 66. And both of their nights, well, at least the 31's night, I believe, is done. The 66 is pretty damaged as well.
Yeah, that's kind of that's a bad hit for that whole team right now because now Nathan's by himself. But it doesn't mean Nathan's out. He's still got he just doesn't have any friends right now.
Big checkup, and by the time he gets to the back, man, it just amplifies more and more and more and more. The 47 or the 57 never saw them checking up. Gets in the back of the 31, and night over.
Yep, that's always the hardest part about running in the back too. You know, you don't want to lose the draft, so you still want to stay as tight as possible. You want to stay in the back because you don't want to be in the wreck, but you almost got to pay extra attention, and it's kind of hard to see through the field of cars in front of you to, you know, if somebody's moving or if somebody's slowing down, it's really hard to distinguish that from the driver's seat.
We've had some pit decisions. A lot of guys pitting, but the 7 of Grassi, the 5 of Williford, the 42 Milliken, 20 of Bartel and the 10 of Colton Gum decided to stay out. There's 5 cars that decided to stay out in this caution.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would have stayed out or not, to be honest with you. I don't know if tires would be an option right now. I mean, unless you had damage, I don't think fuel's really an issue. You're still going to have to pit.
Well, I think they're thinking track position. You know, you get up front, kind of try to stay up front. If you can still make it on one stop, this is a no-brainer. I mean, riding around under caution, you're going to save some fuel as well. So you're still looking at a one-stop strategy, no matter what. But it does kind of limit you on when you can pit. You got to remember that.
Right, but I mean, you know, you can still get, you know, the middle of the stage again, where I was saying it was about 50 to lap, you know, lap 50 to 60, which is where we would have seen everybody if it stayed green. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if even getting gas at this point is really going to make or break your race for you. I mean, you'd be able to prolong that, but again, do you really want to prolong that? I mean, if it does stay green, my secret strategy is, you know, get out there and pit a little early. Doesn't hurt you.
I can tell you it may be been a team decision, because the 7, the 20, and the 5 are all teammates, and they all stayed out. And then you have the 10 and the 42 of Milliken and Gum, who decided to stay out as well. So I'm thinking those guys just decided, hey, let's just stay out, try to get together, run some, you know, laps off the board, and then make our green flag pit stop. You know, we're going to be on the same strategy regardless. So at least those guys have somebody to work with.
Right, and then to me, I mean, staying out would have been the proper strategy for that reason. Yeah, you can at least maybe bunch your team up together. At least that way, you know, you're surrounded by decent people. So it's kind of one of those things. Yeah, I mean, to me, I don't know. I think we probably would have stayed out, to be quite honest with you.
Well, it does give you the track position. If you wanted track position, you'll be up front. And hopefully you're up front if something happens mid-pack. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, you know, I don't know. I really, truly don't think the track, you know, the only track position matters on the last lap. You know, and it just, anything can happen in anywhere. I mean, we've seen them happen in the front. We've seen them happen in the back. We'll see them happen in the middle. It's just, you never know. It could be anything, really. And it's just, that is one of the assets or the fundamentals of plate racing.
On board the Husky machine, TJ Bartel in the 20, getting ready for the restart. He'll be in the second lane, the outside lane, behind Sherwood Williford to see if he'll get a good push. But again, then it's the 7 of Wayne Grassi, also teammates with those guys. We'll see if there's a little bit of a team team discussion here on the restart, or if they just go at it. But like I said, we've got a long way to go. Lap 33 of 80. That's 32. It'll be lap 33 when we come to the green. So still a long way to go and a pit stop to be had if we do stay green. So, yeah, I don't know. Could get interesting.
Well, Wayne had a great restart last time, so I can see him doing it again right now.
Come off turn 4. Pace lights are off. We're getting ready for the green flag. Again, the leader can go in the restart zone. He'll launch first, and that'll trigger the green flag. The iRacing restarts. Teammates on the front row, the 7 of Grassi and the 5 of Sherwood Williford. Green is out, and we are underway. And Grassi gets a great jump.
Yeah, he's got this dialed in. I almost wonder if he even practiced it, but he took off right away. I mean, Kyle is having a hard time catching him right now. Colton Gum was sleeping at the wheel, absolutely, I think, and the outside line is just they're trying to form up and try to, you know, take a run on Wayne. The problem with, you know, a good restart is, if you get too far out, they're all just going to slinky right back up at you, and that's what we're seeing right now. That outside lane is just shotgunned out.
Yeah, Sherwood Williford, he's clear. Now TJ Bartel is clear.
And that's we basically have a 1-2-3 right now sitting out there. So
we'll see if they pull down. They do. That's what I've expected.
Yep, and now you got teammates on the inside row, 1, 2, 3, and that's the strategy you want to have. It helps you kind of control this race, and you know, you guys, they know how to work together, and they know how to maybe even pull away from the field.
I tell you, a driver that's been in and out of the league, and he's back again. The 65 of Hassett, Stephen Hassett, leading the outside lane in front of Ryan Hedrick in the 47, trying to get that outside lane going. It's kind of like a train. You got to get that momentum up. You know, you got to kind of get things rolling here.
Yeah, well, they don't really have the numbers right now, although he is making some moves. Ryan Hedrick, I mean, kudos to him right now. He is a good bumper guy, and he is pushing
He
Steven
is
out to the front.
he's shown to be a really good pusher, not only here, but you bring up Michigan. At Michigan, he was another really good guy to have behind you that can really push you towards the front. And he's showing it again here tonight with the 65. My only concern is those guys may not know each other. They may, I don't know, but they may not know each other and know their tendencies on track. And that could lead to some miscommunication and confusion, which also could lead to disaster.
Well, right. Some guys don't like being pushed. Some guys do. And it's just kind of one of those things where, you almost got to kind of, I even hate to say it, feel them out a little bit. But, you a little like gentle taps.
At 200 miles
hey.
an hour, just
Right.
feel them out a little bit.
Just you want to just say, hey, I'm gonna push you as slightly softly as I can, and if you like it, I'll give you more.
Yeah, I like how you put that. Just you be gentle, just feel them out softly. It's all good. At 200 miles an hour.
Maybe I should write a book, 50 Laps of Gray.
Oh my goodness! With your panning skills on your car, I guess
Yeah.
Great cars.
But anyway, back to the race, and we've got the Team Grassi right now. They are, they're doing what they plan to do, and I mean, to me, again, we talked about it during the talk. That was the right strategy. Stay out, team up with your teammates, get a 1, 2, 3 going, get in line, and just kind of lead this race. And what's beauty is too, they are in a perfect spot. They can dip down whenever they want to go get their pits, out of sight, out of mind. And, that could be a winning strategy for the three of them right now.
Yep, they are. They're doing a good job on the inside lane, holding that position. But the 65 and the 47 are hanging right there with them. And you got the 9 of Colby Meese right behind him with the 37 of Brian Dublé.
Now, I can only imagine what would be happening now if Colby Meese was kind of not in the run of the rest of the Boomerang guys, because Colby Meese has got 2 Boomerang guys on his outside, and then you'd have that 3 Boomerang guys against the 3 Grassi guys, and that could be a little bit spicy there. I mean, Steven, unfortunately, he probably would get sold out, but that's it's all right.
Yeah, on the outside, let's see, you got Hassett, you got Boomerang, you got Colby, you got Boomerang, you got Boomerang. So yeah, Colby's kind of the wolf in sheep's clothing right there.
Yeah, what Colby's got to do right now as the 3rd car, he needs to stay as tight to Ryan's bumper as he possibly can without hitting him, right. and just pay attention and just kind of tuck up underneath him, try to stay in his tracks, try to give Ryan the support he needs to keep pushing past him.
As the 3rd car, you're just carrying energy. The 2nd car is doing the pushing, if there's any pushing. The 1st car needs to be as straight as possible. And that 3rd car, you're just carrying energy to the 2nd car so you can get to the leader.
Well, you're not only carrying energy too, but you're kind of helping him with the slipstream. So you're basically taking up his rear end drag. So which allows him to kind of tighten up to that 1st place car or that front row car and everything. So that's all Colby's got to do, and they're getting there.
Got a nose out front. The 47's right on his bumper as well. He's going to give him a big push down the straightaway.
Yeah, Ryan apparently is doing him no dirty right there, and then Stevens seems like he doesn't mind it. Again, we got to be careful with Colby as I'm watching him, kind of plowing into the 2nd car who was already on the 1st car, and
don't push the pusher. Don't work out.
I'll tell you, that's the most stressful place to be is that 3rd car, because you definitely don't want to wreck the 2nd car into the 1st car, and it is the most stressful place to be, but you got to really pay attention.
To me, it's stressful being the 2nd car because you're worrying about getting pushed from the 3rd car, and you're trying to do push from the 2nd car. And the thing is, too, they've changed recently, and not recently, but over the years, they've changed these cars to where when a car gets in on your back bumper, it starts moving your car around. So then it makes it harder for you to push the guy in front of you as well. So, ooh.
And we're watching that again.
Did 9 push the 47 and 47 got out of shape?
Right. And then you can see it kind of slows up that outside line, and And that is the cause and effect of why the third car is very important to do what the third car needs to be doing. And unfortunately, we are not seeing Colby doing it right now. And not to rag on Colby, but he knows. We were in a race Thursday.
He's learning. He's learning.
Yep.
And now you see some of the guys bailing out of the second lane. When it loses that momentum, some of the guys start giving up on the outside. And the more energy you lose, the harder it gets to kind of make that outside lane move sometimes. And so it's kind of a snowball effect.
Yep, for sure. And, and really, at this point of the race, you just want to get to that green flag stop. You're going to have to make one. You don't want to be in a wreck. I mean, unfortunately, that you don't want to be the wreck. So this is really the time where, and that's kind of what I'm seeing for the most part. Everybody's just calm, kind of doing their thing, and not really trying to, make a run for anything. Just trying to get out there, run some laps, get to that green flag stop.
Well, the first 5 have kind of single filed the 35 of
33.
Sorry, yeah, the 33. Yeah, that's a habit. I got to break that. The 33 of Ben Tracy jumps to the outside, trying to lead that outside lane now.
And just so everybody knows, Sherwood used to run the 33, and Ben Tracy did run the 35 with new numbers. We know the players. Sometimes it's just we lose track of their numbers.
Actually, I was wrong. That's the 14 of Lane Allen jumping out to try to lead the outside lane, and now everybody's bailing. Now it's complete chaos on the outside. Everybody's bailing.
Yeah, I don't know if that would have been a good move if I were Lane at that point. Again, you want to be on the inside to get down to that pit road, especially if you got teammates that are with you. You all kind of want to be able to pit at the same time. And the inside lane at this point of the race is where you want to be, just because you can dive down when you need to. And again, it's less stress. You're just out there just turning laps. And it's, unfortunately, it is the boring part of the race, especially as a driver as well. But that's kind of what you have to do with it. But yeah, I mean, it even kind of broke up the boomerang team too. And I mean, you look, Ryan Hendrick, I think is right now, he's probably in the furthest position he's been all night. And it just kind of shows you what the wrong push from the wrong person at the wrong time could really devastate a lane.
Well, it devastated Lane for sure because he went to the back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well. Actually, no, he didn't. He's still right there. He's still leading that outside lane trying to get going, but he's having a hard time. There's only 4 cars up there now, so it's be hard to generate enough energy to make it go forward. But, yeah, you talk about devastating a lane. It definitely would frustrate Elaine, and I'm sure we could ask Lane about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, even, with Lane's probably thinking to himself, I should have just stayed where I was, and I'm sure if he has an opportunity to get down, we're probably going to see him get down.
I guess we were wrong. Here they come.
Yeah. I don't know where that little burst of speed came from. Although I did see, Sherwood and TJ and Wayne kind of drift up in the middle of the track a little bit, and I don't know if that just kind of broke a little bit of their momentum in their draft. But yeah, they kind of stepped out of lane slightly, and I don't know. Maybe they were doing it to kind of pull Lane along too. I mean, they are all friends up there, and even though they're not on teams, maybe it makes it a little bit more exciting for them as well. I don't know.
You know what name I hadn't seen or talked about lately? The 19 of Coy. He's currently riding in 10th. He's kind of in the middle of the pack, but he jumped up front, led some laps early. Now he's just kind of settled in and been very quiet so far.
Well, I think a lot of his problem right now is he doesn't really have a teammate to work with. He's just kind of out there all by himself. He does have Nate Biggert, who's kind of, doesn't really have much teammates out there himself. So yeah. I think he's just kind of chilling out, maybe waiting and waiting for a pack of cars to say, hey, we're pitting, and he'll probably just jump in with those guys.
Well, he's in between the 01 of Biggert and the 66 of Parrish on the inside. And those two are teammates. But now that outside lane is starting to get some momentum, you see the 9 of Colby Meese starting to put the bumper to the back of Allen, and they're starting to come back forward a little bit.
Well, Colby does like to push. I mean, being the second car, that's the time to do it. So let's see if Colby can maybe get Lane out there. He just got to be smart about it, and don't over-push Lane. Don't crack him too hard.
And look who's third on the outside lane. That's James Wallace in the 67 making an appearance.
Yeah, he was the big winner out of all that as far as the boomerang team goes. I mean, we saw Brian Dublé and we saw Ryan Hedrick up there, and they kind of all swap positions right now as far as the lane goes.
Yeah, everybody got
Now
it on
I'm
in a
kind of
line.
surprised too. Yes, well, seeing Brian Dublé now on the inside, I'm kind of surprised he just went trying to back up to his teammate there and maybe trying to help that outside line.
Now up to second or up to third is Lane Allen in the 14, getting that push from the 9 of Meese down the backstretch, and he backs off, backs up to the 67. They'll get another push here. Doing that with 5 cars on the outside.
Yeah, we are starting to get into that realm. I mean, we're at lap 48 right now. Another few laps, and I think we're going to start seeing some green flags. At least the top 3 are probably going to be coming in within the next 10 laps.
That's true. We should have some stops here shortly. Side by side still for about 5th.
Now Ryan Hedrick, I don't know if he backed up the draft or he just maybe they are starting to get themselves in that inline position or the inside line position for pit stops. I mean, this is where you're going to see some of the guys from the outside line getting down into the inside, especially if they got a pit. I have pitted from the second lane once before.
All right, there you go. You got guys on pit road. It's going to be the Daniel Simmons, Jamie Knopf, Ben Tracy, Nick Dugan all going to pit together here in the back.
Well, and that's 4 cars. Let's see how they get in and out. And, if these guys could do it as a team and get in and out, hopefully everybody's on the same tire. I mean, I already see people taking tires. Looks like a lot of guys are going left sides only. Interesting.
The entry looked good. Everybody come in nice and smooth, and they're going to lead together too, it looks like.
Yeah, everybody looks good. Can that be the winning strategy? I mean, that is a great strategy, though, to get in, get out, get your pit stop. You got plenty of gas now to get to the end. Just form up, stay in your lane, and just try to drive away from the rest of the field. That's really where you're at.
No takers this time. Everybody stays on track.
Well, I am very interesting to see how this plays out because execution was damn well flawless.
Yeah, that was really good. They got lined up really quick, too. There's going to be a lot of draft. That's kind of what you want to see on a green flag stop. In smooth, out together, line up, and get up to speed as quick as possible. And those guys did a great job at that.
Yep, and you just want to make sure, all your teammates, if you got to wait for somebody, you got to wait for somebody. But, they are, and they're staying in line. They're forming up, and now's the time just to make some time on the rest of the field here. So that's a great strategy.
No takers this time as well, so everybody's staying out, just waiting. Now, this is when, I know as a driver, this starts making me nervous when people, you got a few that pitted, nobody else is pitting. So that makes me think everybody's going to pit at the same time, and if that happens, boy, it could get chaotic real quick.
Well, that's one of the benefits, too, of trying to go in a little bit early because, hopefully you do miss some of the mayhem, from a big pack trying to stop. And I mean, you even got to coordinate, where you are entering the pits so you're not going to run over each other as far as the teammates go. But I'm watching them right now, and I haven't actually turned them off. Just kind of watching them form up, and they are staying nice and tight, just kind of keeping it straight, staying on the yellow line, and just driving around this track. And that's really what they got to do. The only thing I can think that's going to hurt them of coming in way earlier than some of the other field is you're going to need to take a little bit more gas during your pit stop. And usually every gallon you take takes about an extra second, out of your pit stop. So it could hurt them coming in too early, but, as far as execution goes, they did a damn good job.
They're actually running faster than the leader right now. They're actually pulling away from this big pack with the 4 cars they've got going. Interesting thing to note, and I hope these teams are taking note of that as well, that they're pulling away from this pack. If you lose this much time, they could be their own pack. Tony, I don't know.
Well, it's kind of, part of that strategy. I'm not going to say that they're doing anything wrong here. They're doing everything right. And that's really kind of, as a team going into pit early like that, that's kind of what you want to do. You want to, and the fact that it's just the 4 of them, you don't have a lot of turbulent air,
right.
And the fact that they're all staying relatively in a nice tighty line too, as far as that goes, you're able to, carry a little bit more speed than the rest of the pack. And it's, like I said, it's working on him. And it looks like they might pick up Michael Blackner here, who apparently maybe there's another lap down.
Somebody, who's that?
Yeah, I'm going to get back to the other live action, but as far as these guys go, this could be the winning strategy of Daniel Simmons.
Joshua Johnson falls off the pack. He falls a lap down.
Well, I know he had a little damage early on. I don't know if that had to.
Yeah.
I'm more curious to see what happened to Michael Blackner. I mean, I thought he, was still on pace when the green flag, although it could be one of those things where you accidentally leave your qualifying set in and, that could screw you.
Definitely could. Coming through 3 and 4, those guys are still making time on this lead pack. So that was a great call for them. It's going to set them up really good here. If we keep this thing green, as long as they make up enough time, they took tires. I wonder if some of these guys are not going to take tires. That's the other interesting thing. And also time coming in, time coming off on pit road. I mean, it looks smooth to me. We'll see if it's fast. And if it is fast enough, those 4 guys are going to be lined up all by themselves, making up time on this big group. And it could put them in a really good position here for the end of the race.
Yeah, the only thing I'm watching with them, though, is every now and again they get a little sloppy. The hit gets a little too hard. Daniel wiggles a little bit, and, they kind of break their little chain, or they get a little too tight, and it kind of chokes them up a little bit. And they just got to, just stay calm. Just stay on the bumper. Try not to overheat the car too much. And just, honestly, even now,
we were looking at this. Lane Allen is taking the lead over Sherwood Williford. So Lane Allen leads his first lap. Lane's a super speedway ace too. So
yeah, and it looks like Colby was able to get him out in front. And does he got enough juice though to keep him out in front, because that inside line's coming again. And I'm kind of waiting for that the Sherwood, TJ Bartel, Wayne Grassi group to kind of make their pit. They did not pit, so they definitely need some gas here at some point. And that was a little sketch, but they somehow made it work there with Colby Meese.
Yeah. I didn't know if Colby was letting him in or not. I'm not sure he knew if he was going to let him in or not. Sherwood on apron.
Yeah, he was a little low. I almost thought he was going in for a pit.
It's awful quick to get in the pit stop there. I don't know,
But we're at what, lap 57? These guys have got to be coming in within the next lap or two.
James Wallace to the lead. So James is taking the lead with a push from Alan Kroll and teammate 47 of Ryan Hedrick on the outside. Just the 3 of them. Now Kroll is going to leave James Wallace out as they come up on. Is that Shane?
Coming up on Michael Blackner, who's a lap car.
Oh, Michael Blackner down. Again. Yeah, okay. And we do have some pit stops. Wayne Grassi, Sherwood Williford, those guys all coming in. Who is this flying into pit road? That was Richie Coy. Where was Richie going?
That I completely missed, but that was that kind of seemed like the strategy though for Richie. I mean, he was kind of waiting for the bigger pack to kind of call out and say, "Hey, I'm going in," and he's I'm watching it now on the replay. And
Richie,
I have a feeling he might have been speeding. Yeah.
Maybe. Good smooth stop at this group though, other than the 19. Holy. And they're going to get lined up. The 42's got a little bit of a gap. But here goes that group. This is what I was talking about. Look at the lead this 4-car group is going to have on everybody else. This is the time they were making up out there with, just the 4 of them.
Yep. Well, and I mean, we've been in that spot as well. And, I can attest, if you got your stuff organized, if you got your little crowd, organized driving forward, that's what's going to happen. And, 4 cars can be stronger than, the rest of the field just because of your organization and the way you're driving it. And, they're showing everybody right now that's exactly what's going on. And,
I was screaming it. I was screaming it internally that they were making up way too much time. You got to get on pit road. And now all these guys are going to be way behind them. Let's see what's the gap between them and the cars in front of them. 7.2 seconds. Now they do have more cars. They've got 6 versus their 4, but I'm not so sure that's a really good thing. Of course, you can't take what I'm saying with anything because we also called the 19 a koi.
Right. Yeah, a couple weeks ago too. Well, a couple weeks ago too, if you remember the 19 a koi, and some of those guys in that second groove were able to catch that front groove, and it became a 2-lane race at that point.
Yeah.
And
that's what I'm saying. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it just you never know.
You got the leader, the 47 of Brian Hedrick right now, Lane Allen second, Alan Crowell in third, yet to pit, with Meese, James Wallace, Nathan Biggert, Shane Parrish in tow.
See, and I'm still kind of watching that lead pack of Daniel Simmons and Jamie Knopp and the number 12 of I don't even know who the 12 is, or Nick Dugan and then Ben Tracy. Every now and again though, I see Jamie Knopp kind of step out of line. And he gives Daniel Simmons a good crack, and then he steps out of line, and that I don't think that's good for his speed. And they got a 7-second gap, but too much of that.
They've actually extended it to I think about an 8-second gap.
Well, we'll see what the second group does. They may eventually, once the second group gets their stuff in line, they might they might be able to start pulling on it. I mean, there are plenty of laps still left to go. We got 19 to go, so.
19 to go. The 47 of Hedrick leading. Allen second. Crowell third. Meese fourth. And rounding your top 5 right now is the 67 of Wallace. And he got Biggert and Parrish. And Parrish was in that wreck, and he's still hanging out there in 7th.
Yeah, well, maybe, sometimes, you get blessed by the damage gods, and they don't force you to stay in the pits too long. And, if you don't have that much damage, you can kind of stay up with the pack.
So you got a 4-pack? Well, no, actually you got 5. And then the lap down car of Blackner, which is 6. And then you got a 3-pack of Biggert, Parrish, and Dublé.
Yes, but that front pack right now, they're going to have to pit.
Yeah. So the second pack will too. All these guys are left to pit. The top 8 left to pit. Your leader, when that finishes up, is going to be the 06 of Daniel Simmons. It's Simmons, Knopf, Dugan, and Tracy, and then it's a 7.9, almost 8 seconds back now to Kyle Milliken in the 42. So they are not gaining time.
Yeah, I mean, the only question that Daniel, Jamie, Nick, and Ben need to figure out is who's going to finish 4th.
Who's going to win? Yeah, exactly. Well, again, it's still a long way to go. And you see the 48 jumping back out of line again. They're trying to cool off.
All right, we got some takers now to that front row. Boomerang stayed out for another lap or 2, but Lane Allen and Colby Meese and one other driver, Alan Crowell, went in.
So yeah. Now you got Boomerang 1, 2, and then the lap car of Michael Blackner in 3rd.
And I kind of feel like it's a bad move on Boomerang. Boomerang should have been in already. I think this is going to hurt.
There's only 2 of them, so yeah, they're going to lose probably a lot of time here.
Yeah, and Brian Dublay's kind of stuck in that second pack right now with Josh Johnson as well. So, and he's got Nate Biggert and Shane Parrish in that second pack right now. So maybe they're all going to be planning on coming in at once, and that might be 6 strong cars to kind of make a run here. But no, that's exactly what we got. We got all the remaining 6 cars going in for pit right now.
No, because Hedrick and Wallace did not pit from the lead.
Oh, they did. Wow.
So they stayed out, and the 3 behind them did pit.
I'm watching the 4, and I just assumed the front 2 went with them. That is not good team communication. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, that's Joshua Johnson on pit road with them as well. But Josh is a lap down, but still working with them. So,
right.
Quick stop though. Only fuel only. It looks like because they are rolling once again off pit road.
Yeah, I mean the longer and
there goes that group. There goes that group. 06, the 48, the 33, 12. They all just went right by him.
Yep, and they picked up Richie Coy too, who happens to be 2 laps down because for his pit road infraction, I'm assuming.
I'm
just going to take a guess.
I'm surprised I racing in parking for something like that. That's dangerous.
At least you didn't kill any virtual pit crew.
I joke. He's probably frustrated about that. I want to go back and see exactly what happened there between them. But as we say, that the 47 and 67 are on pit road finally. They are rolling. But here comes that big group. Going to zoom right by them right here. The 06 of Simmons will take the lead there. And they are now, let's see who's in the lead of that second group. Nathan Biggert, but Kyle Milken's catching them now.
Yeah, and they got a pretty good group there. I'm watching that. They've got,
the 42s. Oh, my God. He's still saving it.
Wow, that was great.
And
save.
he did save it. Wow.
Got a little bit too much of a push, but it kind of hurt him as far as position goes. But wow, great save for Kyle.
We almost saw Michael McDowell there, I think, in turn one, and that was close.
Yeah, and as bad as that would have been, I'm sure most of the field would probably have appreciated it.
Wanted to caution. Yeah. We'll see if these guys can do anything with it. Now they got Sherwin Williford and TJ Bartell leading that inside lane now, trying to lead the pack back up to the 06 of Simmons, who now has a 9.6 second lead on that second group.
I don't know. With 13 laps to go, 13 laps to go, it's just 9 seconds. That is a lot of ground.
That is huge. I think, listen, these guys just took them to school as far as what to do on this pet strategy, I believe.
Well, I'm not going to say they may have been watching us, but they may have been watching us as far as the Fury team goes. Because, again, that is a strategy that I implore, and it's kind of like what we do. I'm not the type of – I don't like to be a secret squirrel about it. I mean, if you're paying attention, you can see what we do. And they obviously did what we've done, and they executed right, which is what you got to do.
I don't know that I would even take credit for something like that because, to be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of pitting too early. I mean, we do want to pit and stay together and work together like this. That was a great move by those guys, but I'm not taking credit for that. I think they pulled that off flawlessly. They got the pits smooth. They came out together, lined up quickly. They've been pushing ever since, going as fast as they can, and it's netted them now a 10-second lead over the second pack.
Oh, well, yeah, and I'm definitely not discrediting their execution because, they executed exactly as it needed to be, and they still are. And you can't really let up. You just got to kind of stay in line, keep moving straight, and you're going to eventually pull on these guys. And even if the second pack could get their stuff together and line up, and unfortunately they're not because there's just too many people trying to get a spot. In this second group, there's not enough time for them to get together.
Yeah, like I said, they have a 10-second lead from the second group, and we're coming to 11 to go. They'd have to make up a second a lap, and that's just not feasible. I mean, these guys are doing such a good job going fast. Honestly, the 48 looks like a machine. He's pushing down the straightaway, pulling out in turn 3 to cool it down, getting back in line, and pushing again on the next straight. He's doing it's like clockwork, and it's working really well.
Yeah, and I'm actually kind of surprising, too. It's kind of surprising that, he is giving him a good push, and that good big push is kind of offsetting his stepping on a line, because I would think that would kind of slow down the lane just a little bit. But no, it's not at all. I mean, their execution is spot on for these guys right now, and it looks like it's going to net them a win. But
who?
Yeah, right. Who?
Which one of these four? I mean, what do you do?
Right.
Listen,
but what I was
can
going to
tell
say,
you,
though, we can still have a yellow, and then it
true.
changes everything.
That's very true. That's very true.
But if it stays the way it is, which one of the four? The better question is which one of the four is not going to get interviewed.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, we could throw all four of them in here. We can have a little interview party if so be it.
If I'm Richie, if I'm in Richie's shoes, I'm starting to barter with him. Okay, boys, who's going to pay me the most to push you?
For two victory fuels.
Yeah. Somebody's getting victory fuel out of this too.
I'm watching the back of the pack right now, and they are kind of fumbling footballs back there. Just a lot of guys, I don't know. It doesn't look like they're really fighting for position. It just doesn't seem like too many people are paying attention. A lot of fumbling right now.
I wonder at this point if they know they're racing for fifth, and so they're just going to do everything they can to try to get a fifth spot. I mean, at this point, that's the mindset I would have. It's like we're not catching these guys up front, so now we're racing for fifth, unless the caution comes out.
Well, I think that is the mentality. When you are in the second pack, and I mean, we've been there ourselves. It's just that's where you're going to be. Unless a caution happens, there's no way of getting up there. I mean, you could try and try and try, but if the whole lane is not doing it, and that kind of leads to why the lead pack right now is doing so good. They're organized. They're doing exactly what they need to be doing. They're staying nice. They're staying tidy. They've got a plan. They're executing. When you got a bunch of different teams and a bunch of different drivers behind, you're not getting that cooperation. And it doesn't matter how many cars are in that back lane, in the backpack. It's just, without the cooperation, without the team up, it's just not going to happen.
Listen, I know all four of these guys are thirsty for a win up front, and we're thirsty for some victory fuel. DrinkVictory.com. Go there at code FTSR, 10% off your order at DrinkVictory.com for your victory fuel. You got to get it, man. You got to try the Purple Potion or the Throttle Punch or the Lucky Lemon. And who knows what they'll have down the line. I've heard they're working on some other flavors as well, so looking forward to that. Those guys out there are thirsty. If you're thirsty, grab some victory fuel. DrinkVictory.com, FTSR for 10% off your order.
Yeah. Who knows what other flavors? What do you think might be next? An orange, maybe?
All right, that would.
I'm thinking of like Gatorade. They got the lemon, they got the tropical punch, they got the purple, which I'm surprised purple was
blue raspberry.
Oh, blue would be good.
Yes.
Me personally, I'm a DIY kind of guy, so I like the powders. I would love to see them come out with a victory fuel powder, maybe. Where you even in like a little pack at one shot, throw in your water bottle. Maybe down the road, something like that.
These guys still working it here. 7 to go, coming to 6 to go here at Daytona. Up front, it's Simmons, Knopf, Dugan, Tracy. And in the pack behind them, now 12 seconds back. Sherwood rounding out your top 5, but they are racing hard for that 5th spot. Here we are side by side. This is where the action is.
I've been watching this whole pack for a while now too. Yeah, they've got 6 cars in here. It looks like everybody here is on the lead lap as well. And they are getting very spicy.
Now it's Kyle Milliken getting pushed by his teammate Colton Gum to the front of that pack and moving down to the bottom in front of Sherwood Williford, leaving Nate Biggert up there on the high side with Lane Allen behind him.
Yeah, Kyle and Colton got a really good run off of Sherwood and TJ, and they almost forced their way in front there, but they were able to get that 5th spot. I'm kind of waiting to see what's going to happen and who's going to be sold out at the end in the front 4. It's almost like I want a split screen.
Yeah,
I don't know if you could do that.
No, that's what I was thinking, man. I want to watch both, and I can't watch both, and we can't watch both. Unfortunately, that's something I need to work on and see if I can do a split. I don't think I can. I only have one source, but
right, yeah. Unless I were to feed you my source, and yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, we're gonna have to watch the winner and then go cut back, 7 seconds back.
These guys, Dallas Lane got checked up a little bit there with Nathan Biggert, Lane Allen. Down the back stretch, so Kyle Milliken continues to lead that second group.
And I think Kyle's shown us that he's got I can see him kind of retaining that position. Although, we got Sherwood Williford and TJ, and they do have an open lane on the top side. And they do got Wayne behind them, so that triple stack is there. If all 3 get clear, which they are right now.
They are. They're thinking about it. You can see them thinking about it.
They want to, and they're kind of like saying, go, go, go. It's going to happen.
Now looking. Sherwood looking again. Now he's going to look off turn 2, but he's broadcast it. Now they're split up, now side by side. Wayne Grassi and the 20 of TJ Bartell. That didn't work out at all. No,
they kind of waited a little bit too much, and TJ was kind of up in the upper groove, and it's like, come on, Sherwood. And then, they had all 3 lined up, and they missed that shot.
But Sherwood is going to get pushed by the 20 of TJ Bartell. Wayne Grassi on the bottom. Now they're side by side again. Just checking up front. Same thing. You got the 06 of Simmons, the 48 of Knopf. 3 laps to go.
And a 12-second lead. Almost 13-second lead on that second pack.
12 seconds. This is where the shuffling's going on. We'll follow that lead group on the last lap for sure. But still shuffling positions here for 5th on back.
Yeah, Sherwood was able to clear pretty good. Unfortunately, Kyle got stuffed back to 8th right there. he got passed by 3 cars, and one of them was Ryan Hedrick. But there goes Kyle again. Kyle is getting a good push from Colton.
He did, but they got disconnected. Colton's back on his back bumper again, trying to push.
Well, I think they're kind of waiting for Nate. Nate was not close enough. I think when Nate kind of tucks up to Colton there, that's when that lane's going to start moving here.
2 laps to go. Just checking up front. You got the 06 of Simmons, the 48 of Knopf, Dugan and Tracy. 1, 2, 3, 4 with Richie Coy in tow. Nothing changing here down the backstretch. They're still in line.
Yeah, I'm kind of flipping back and forth here too. Yeah, the front is just a boring thing, but this backpack, it's almost like they want that win, but it ain't going to be a win for them. It's a small win.
Side by side, that group is side by side here. 2 laps to go, waiting for the white flag to come out. When the leaders pass, there it is, white flag, 1 lap to go. Anything goes. We'll follow the group up front. We'll switch back for the finish at the back. Daniel Simmons leads, Jamie Knopf second, Dugan third, Tracy fourth. Will they mix it up here at the end as they encounter some lap traffic?
Well, I'm watching the backpack. If you keep your eye on the front pack, I'm waiting for some fireworks to happen over here.
Down the backstretch, they stay in line. Top 4 now. The 35 of Ben Tracy's going to look to the outside of the 12 of Dugan. That splits them up. Now it's a drag race between the 48 and the 06. All by themselves. No run coming. Nothing he can do. It's going to be the 06 Daniel Simmons winning the Daytona 200.
That worked out pretty good. Unfortunately, Nick Dugan was the odd man out there, but
great. Wreck coming to the line, but Kyle Milliken will finish 5th. Who's that in the wall? Is that Colton Gum in the 10? Shane Parrish involved? Yes.
Yeah, looks like Colton got a little bump from Nate there just on that last corner, and
let's see if we can look at that again. It's already happened.
Looks like Shane kind of checked up a bit.
Let's see, they caught a lap car. Is that a lap car on the apron there? Let's see if we can see that better.
Yeah, it looks like Shane kind of checked up.
They caught the lap car, and it kind of, Shane tried to move up, and the car was there.
Yeah, he was catching Nate so quickly, probably didn't realize it. He probably got spooked by Colton Gum.
Was that Colton that was on the...
Colton was on the inside, yeah, because Colton had a little bit of an issue there. And, Shane just, he didn't want to wreck his teammate, so he kind of went up and kind of took out Alan Crowell a little bit.
So why was Colton Gum off the pace? Let's see if we can actually, let's do this.
I think he got a little bit of bump from Nate, actually.
Let's go to the last lap. We'll watch the complete lap here with these guys and see what happened. Because the 10 of Colton Gum somehow ended up slow in turn 3 and 4. I think. So Colton's pushing the 42 on the last lap with, who's that in tow?
You know what?
The L1?
I think Colton Gum ran out of gas.
He's pushing the 42 down the straightaway. That's what he was slow. All right, he pushes him into 3, and then you're right, he just stops. Or either he blew up, one or the other. And so everybody's moving to avoid him, and the 66 gets on the, he just, he moves up, and there's a car there.
He drops on an instant. So to me, that's either, he either blew up or he ran out of gas. I mean, he was pushing him. He was on his, bumper, but I don't know. These cars don't really blow up like some of the other cars, just the way the air intake is set up.
We'd have to talk to him to find the full story, but just like it stops, and everybody's going to avoid him. 66 clips the 42 there. Everybody racing to the line. Oh my goodness!
I'll tell you though, what a great race. I mean, and the teammates with the perfect execution did what they had to do.
Yeah.
We had a great second pack run to the finish there too as well. And wow. it doesn't disappoint. These plate tracks, they are pretty fun to watch. It always gets spicy at the end.
So looking at the results, the 06 of Daniel Simmons wins the first race of the 2024 season for the FTSR Victory Fuel Cup Series. Teammate Jamie Knopf and Ben Tracy finish second and third. That's a 1-2-3 for the team. That's pretty cool. And now they are on the same team this year with Tracy Motorsports, so that's awesome. Nick Dugan running with those guys right there in fourth. Kyle Milken comes home to a fifth place finish, it says, but was he not involved in that last wreck?
No, he was good. He actually was being pushed by Colton before Colton ran out of gas or whatnot.
Who did the 66 come across on?
Alan Crowell.
Oh man. Anyway, Kyle Milken finishes fifth. Sixth is Nathan Biggert. Seventh, Lane Allen. Eighth, Wayne Grassi. Ninth, James Wallace, and Sherwood Williford finishes in 10th spot. The 11th spot is going to be the 20 of TJ Bartell. 12th is Ryan Hedrick. 13th, Stephen Hassett in the 65. 14th is going to be the 10 of Colton Gum. 15th, Brian Dublé. 16th, Shane Parrish. 17th is going to be Colby Meese. Having issues in the pits. Michael Blackner as well. Alan Kroll in that wreck at the very end. Richie Coy with the, I don't know if we call it the move of the night, but
the speed of the night.
Something comes home in 20th, unfortunately, after speeding on pit road. 21st, Joshua Johnson. 22nd, Jeff Chandler. James Torrey, 23rd, and round out the 24 car field is going to be the 97 of Brandon Elder. All right, let's switch over to our post-race show presented by Victory Fuel. Let's see if we can talk to some of these guys. See if we can find their third place finish. Now in the 33, not the 35, the 33. I got corrected on stream, Ben. But congratulations, Ben, on third place finish. And congratulations on a 1-2-3 for the team. And you guys executed that perfectly.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 for the team. I mean,
Wow.
As a team owner, it doesn't get any better than that. So I'm pretty stoked. I mean, we went out there with a plan and executed it to perfection. And Richie joined in there, and we were flying. And I mean, everything just went to plan. We were just sitting there hoping for no caution, and I was sitting there for the last 10 laps or so trying to figure out how I was going to get around all three of them. So it was fun.
I'm going to sound like a broken record because I'm probably going to bring it up with those guys as well, but when you guys pitted and you come out and you start noticing you're gaining time, I was screaming. Internally, I was trying not to scream on the broadcast. These guys are going to beat you guys. You got to pit. And you guys continue to stretch it. When they pitted, you guys just flew by them. I was like, yeah, I saw that one coming.
Yeah. When we were in practice before the session, we were running 1, 2, 3, 4. And I mean, if you looked at the best lap times, we were, I think, 4 or 5 tenths faster than anybody else. And we went and watched other people too. And even when they had 4 guys lined up, they were way off of our pace. I mean, it's all props to Daniel and Jamie up there who were 1 and 2. Jamie's one of the best pushers out here, and Daniel knows how to take it, and those guys executed that perfectly. Jamie was able to keep his car cool in the corners, and I was able to stay right on the back of Nick for that whole time and keep him close to Jamie, push him back up to Daniel, and just we were making up great time. It was perfectly executed playing there.
Well, Tony, it sounds like we need to dust our cars off and get back out there because these guys took them to school for sure. But I'm going to pass it on to you, see if you got anything for us.
Well, he's got me giggling about somebody who could take it, but otherwise, I'm just, hats off to the team. We've pulled off similar victories as well, and yeah, your execution was absolutely spot on. And were you guys actually practicing at all throughout the week, or just kind of before the race today?
It's Daytona, Tony. We don't practice Daytona.
A man after my own heart. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't need to practice this. I agree.
No, we just floor it and hope for the best. And I mean, we just hope to survive at the end. But we made it all the way to the end. I don't think any of the 4 of us had a scratch on the car, except for maybe some of those front and rear bumpers from pushing each other. And I mean, team owners happy. I'll tell you that. Crew chiefs are happy. Mechanics are going to be stoked. We're just putting these cars on a trailer, driving them straight to Talladega. So,
Absolutely, and that's exactly what you need to do there. Is just maybe pack those up, put them away, and just wait for Talladega to roll around for sure. But I saw you pull a rank there at the end too, and said, "Nope, I'm taking his third spot around the 12." So again, congratulations, man, to a top three. What? Go ahead.
No, you're good. I told Jamie and Nick, I said, me and Daniel are battling it out, Jamie. You got enough wins, and Nick, you can't even make the playoffs right now. You're too far back. So me and Daniel are gonna run her down. And
We were
I mean,
wondering who was going to get the short straw.
I didn't have a shot to come around them, and I saw Richie peek out and look to help me for a second, and I was like, we ain't got a shot, man. So it was fun. Daniel's got a nice win. I think the only win he had was one of the duels, so he's got that big win now. He gets to hang it up, and we'll take all these cars into the playoffs and hope for the best.
Absolutely. Well, Ben, again, congratulations on third place finish. I'll let you take the mic here, though, right quick, and throw your shout outs and your sponsor plugs.
Yeah, absolutely. To all the guys on Tracy Motorsports, Daniel, Jamie, Nick. I mean, we just put together a great performance today. Also, shout out to my beautiful wife who's watching our little one and letting me come in here and spend some time on the rig. So, thank you guys for putting on the broadcast, running a great league. So, appreciate y'all.
All right, there's Ben Tracy, third place finisher tonight in the 33 new number. Solid finish going into season C. And again, his teammates set up for the playoffs. Let's see if we can talk to second place. The 48 of Jamie Knopf coming home in second place. It definitely was a team win altogether tonight. Coming home second, pushing it at 06. Congratulations, man.
Thank you, man. Yeah, we had a really good run there. We had real good, clean pit stops and was able to get formed coming off pit road. And then Richie had some trouble there. I ain't sure what happened to him, but he was able to get in line with us. So we had like 5 really fast race cars, and I guess the people were battling back there behind us. Maybe why they wasn't able to catch up or something. But yeah, it was a good run all night. I was hoping there wouldn't be no caution like it was in the truck race the other night and had a green-white checkered. So we're just hoping to get to that white flag.
Well, you guys did a great job coming out of pit road there, sticking together. I think, speaking of Richie, I think Richie thought the speed limit was 160 on pit road instead of 60. We'll talk about that later. But anyway, yeah, man, you guys did an awesome job. Execute. It's all about execution on pit road. You guys came in smooth, stayed together, come off together, immediately started pushing. And we noticed that you were kind of pushing and getting off and cool, like you were cooling the car off on the right. Is that what was going on?
Yeah, it would get hot, so I would have to cool it off almost every corner after about 2 laps when we come out of the pits. So we had a little gap on them, so we were just trying not to get it too hot where it would blow up, and then not wreck each other when we were pushing either. So I was like, if it ain't in line, just back off and we'll regroup and then go again. So
yeah, all right, Tony, it
worked good.
It's all yours, Tony.
Well, yeah. Well, you kind of stole my question too, because I was going to kind of see what was going on with the, stepping on a line after the crack to Daniel every now and again. I was afraid you were actually going to kind of break your formation a little bit and kind of slow down the pack, but that obviously was not the case. And kind of like I said to your teammate earlier, and I'll say it again to Daniel, the 4 of you guys executed excellently, and it really paid tonight and paid off tonight. And just hats off to the 4 of you. Don't necessarily have a question though, but just great job tonight.
What about the playoffs? How's this set you guys up for the playoffs?
Well, we have some good tracks in there and some bad ones, so I guess we'll see. We're already locked in, I think. So, well, I don't think Ben has a win, so he wasn't locked in unless he's got enough points. But hopefully that sets us up, momentum going in. There's always such thing as momentum. So,
well, Ben said there was not a scratch on the car. You guys are going to put car covers on them and sit them in the corner of the shop until you show up at Talladega here in the fall. And I think that's a great a great idea. And I think everybody's going to take note of what you guys did tonight. So again, congratulations, second place. I'm going to give you the mic there, let you do your thoughts, your sponsor shout outs. The mic's all yours.
All right. Yeah. And I told everybody, underdrive pit road, do not get a speeding penalty, because we wasn't waiting 20 seconds on you. You'd be up by yourself then. So everybody did perfect. We practiced, pit road entry 2 or 3 times during the race, so our practice earlier, so that worked out great. But this Ben Tracy, he's the team owner. Glad to get him a win, and I think he had the best motor for qualifying and then gave us one for the race because he had the pole and I was like 13th and Daniel was 12th or 14th, something like that. So we were mid pack and he was up there on the pole. So I think he stole the fast motor for qualifying, but we were good in the race, and thank Team Connie for the awesome setup and Daniel for holding the line pretty straight, and Nick for awesome job would push me back to him when he needed to, and Ben, and then I got to thank Richie there at the end too because he was in line there with us, help kept our pack going fast.
And there's your
And
second.
Thank you guys for the broadcast. If NASCAR would steal y'all two for NBC, it would make the real NASCAR coverage a lot better.
Hey, listen, let me tell you guys too. I gotta, you're giving us credit, but I gotta give you guys credit. The racing at the beginning of the race, phenomenal. I thought honestly the guys were gonna ride in line and kind of take care of the car. No, there was racing all over the track, and everybody did a great job keeping it clean to the green flag pit stops. We did have one, I guess, one accident that kind of caused some issues, but you guys doing a great job out there. Continue it. Do one spot better at Talladega when we get there in the fall. But again, congratulations on the second place finish, and we'll see you next week.
All righty. Thank you, guys.
There's your second place finisher, Jamie Knopf. And like I said, Tony, he was giving us credit. I got to give those guys credit, man. That was fun to watch at the beginning of the race.
Oh, yeah.
Those guys were slicing and dicing
and
doing it cleanly.
Spicy. They were keeping it spicy, but it was not too hot to handle. And it was just a hell of a fun to watch, too, at the beginning.
I tell you what, one guy that got super hot at the right time coming into the playoffs going to be the winner tonight, the 06 of Daniel Simmons, getting the push from teammates. Daniel, congratulations. You guys couldn't have called a better decision to pit when you did.
Yeah, that worked out fairly good. Yeah, I mean, I got to thank Jamie for that. He kind of orchestrated that whole, who needed to be pushing and following, and it all worked out good.
I tell you guys executed it perfectly, though. There's a lot that goes into it. I know people watch it be like, oh, it's just, it's not. Getting on pit road, I know Jamie said he was yelling at people, telling them not to speed on pit road. But getting down off to pit road speed, executing down pit road, making sure you have the right stuff selected, having a good pit stop, getting back out, getting back in line, and getting back up to speed quickly. You guys did everything perfectly, and you put such a gap on the rest of the pack. They had no chance of catching you. As a matter of fact, you guys were continuing to pull away there at the end. So just talk to me about kind of the orchestration, orchestrating something like that.
Yeah, I mean, the big part of our practice was, we got out there and run laps or whatever and pushed, and the whole time we was on the racetrack, we was just trying to figure out what order we need to be in. It seemed like I was pretty good at holding my line out front. It seemed like Jamie was about the best, at pushing, so we put him in second. We had Nick there in third, kind of taking up the slack there in between to give Jamie the run when he needed it, and then we had Ben in the back, so he could kind of maintain the whole pack there a little bit. And then everything other than that, man, was just straight pit strategy. It was just who needed to be where when we come in, who needed to be closest to the inside wall, who needed to be up near the racetrack, the two that was going to split. And we tried to time our deals so when we rolled on the pit road, we was already kind of in order on how we needed to pit, so we didn't have each other messed up. And then after that, it was just get in line as fast as you could and try to get away.
Hey, you guys did it the best. I'm telling you guys, put gaps out on them under the pit stop and continue to gap them there. Tony, I'm going to give you the mic, and hopefully I didn't steal your question this time.
No, you didn't actually. But yeah, I said it to the other two guys, Ben and Jamie, a hell of an execution. Congrats to y'all. Congrats on the win. Now my question is, so how many times did you tell Jamie that was a little too much? Lay it off. And I guess the second part of the question would be, were you waiting to be sold out by your teammates and maybe finish second?
Nah, it was, I honestly never told Jamie to hold back anything. We race with each other in real life, so we pretty much know how far we can push each other. So the trust between us is pretty strong. And even if we did step over the line there, it's we know it's nothing against the other one.
Well, there was a few cracks. It looked a little rough, and I was like, "Ooh, that might be a little spicy." I mean, I know I'd be like, maybe a little softer next time. But yeah, and you were handling him great, and yeah, he was cracking you hard. And I mean, again, great job to the whole team there.
Yeah, and it come down there at the end. And Jamie, he's done won a couple, I believe. So me and Ben done kind of made our minds up with each other. It probably needed to be between us since Nick really ain't in the playoffs or whatever. So it was going to be a drag race between me and him. And then we run down those 2 lap cars. That kind of had the outside kind of hemmed up there. So really couldn't get doubled up and try to drag race it out. But it was fun. I mean, I don't really think about this, just my win. I told Ben, I was like, man, if either one of us wins, we'll split the victory fuel. I'll mail you 2 or you mail me 2. So, or whatever we get there. So,
yeah, it's pretty cool. And yeah, again, congratulations on the win. It does lock you in the playoffs, and we go to Darlington next week, the last week of the regular season. I guess you could kind of throw caution to the wind now. Yeah, you're locked in. Now you just go in there and try to capitalize and maybe grab a second win before the playoffs start, right?
Yeah, Darlington is one of them love-hate things. It's like you kind of love for it to be over with and hate why it's going on. But hopefully we can pull off another 1 through 4 finish, but it's gonna be tough.
I like that saying, love hate. You'd love for it to be over with and hate while it's going on. That's exactly right. That's the way I feel about Darlington. Absolutely, you're correct. But hey, the pressure's off. You go in next week. Maybe add to that win total. Again, congratulations tonight. I'm going to hand you the mic, let you do your sponsor shout outs, and thank anybody that's out there watching.
Yeah, like I say, I thank teammates, Jamie, Nick, Ben. If it wasn't for them, we couldn't have pulled that deal off for sure. Team Connie for the great setups. Thank you guys for putting on the awesome league and the cool broadcast.
There's your winner tonight. The 06 of Daniel Simmons gets his first win of 2024 and wins the first race of the 24C season. Locks him into the playoffs. A lot of things going on right there. So huge implications tonight at Daytona, which is, what you kind of expect at Daytona.
I mean, it's really not almost what you expect at Daytona. I mean, we saw incredible organization. We saw spicy racing, but everybody managed to stay pretty clean. We only had 1 caution. We didn't see a big one. It was an eerie, in a way, Daytona, but I'll tell you, the execution of that, of the Team Tracy, unreal. It got him the win, got him a 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, hats off. Bravo. Good job, guys. I mean, just great race overall, too. I mean, everybody in the league held it together. And I mean, we saw a great race tonight. Not a typical Daytona, but it was still a great race.
It was really good, especially early on. And those guys played some strategy, got out front, and it was between them. We saw some great racing for 5th on back, even towards the end, to the checkered flag. And by the way, Tony, we're going to nickname you Spicy Solari, since you used the word spicy so much. Spicy Solari on board. But
we did spicy.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what's going to be spicy is next week at Darlington. And we're going to have all the coverage for the Full Throttle Sim Racing Victory Fuel Cup Series from Darlington next week. And man, that is one race. Like tonight, I could have been like, man, I wish I was out there. Next week, I'm going to be glad. I'm so happy I'm not out there. So
oh, for sure. Yes. There is no place I would rather be next week than in here in the booth with you. And, hopefully we'll get some good viewers out there. It's going to be a good race, but
it will be.
We ain't going to be in it. Thank God.
Yeah. Those guys are going to be, it's a little bit shorter race, but they're going to be drained after that one, because it does take a lot of focus, a lot of energy, but we'll be bringing all the action here on Full Throttle Television next week at 9 p.m. on Monday for the Victory Fuel Cup Series from Darlington Raceway. Looking forward to that Darlington 200, so make sure you catch us next week. But for Tony Solari and everybody in the Full Throttle Television broadcast booth, my name's Brody Hanna, and I'll see you next week here on Full Throttle TV.